Hey, Shaq! Master! The Shaq
I told you. Oh, God.
You just gotta keep living, man. L-I-V-I-N.
The WWF Retail Flyweight Championship bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
It's showtime.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to P3 Radio. I'm Richard Mulligan, joined by my co-host and best friend, Josh Brawley. Say hey, Josh.
What's up, everybody? Are you doing good today, Richard?
I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, we're on episode 12 of P3 Radio, and this is the 53rd time probably I've heard this intro, and I'm starting to really get sick of it. It's like the 53rd time I've heard it tonight, because
do you think we should, redo the whole thing, or would you want to put certain elements back in?
Because we're only 12 episodes in.
Can I make a confession?
Yeah.
Tonight is the first time that I ever realized what the guy at the end says. I thought he was saying Artichoke Man.
He says it's showtime.
No. Powder Toast Man. I have no idea what that's from.
That's from Ren and Stimpy.
I drew a blank.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was saying Artichoke Man. My bad.
So just now. All right, so we're on episode 12. We're on episode 12 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is P3 Radio, and we have went through probably about 4 of these episode 12 intros. Now, excuse me. Now, when I say we've went through a bunch of these, I mean, what we normally do is we sit down on a Saturday night every 2 weeks and we film a radio show or a podcast. And we usually try to get about 2 weeks worth of material out of every session. And tonight we are, struggling. But no, this episode's going to be in the can already. So when you hear episode 12, this was recorded 2 weeks ago.
The last time I seen something like this in the can, I flushed it.
Yeah. Dad joke. Dad joke. Alright, so if I had a haircut like that, I'd teach my dog to walk backwards and shave his butt. Or
That's a little drawn out. Yeah. This would be a 1-2 punch.
I'd give him a buzz cut and I'd dock the tail.
Okay.
And then maybe fluff around the Netherlands and then red rocket him so it looked like... No.
And our words are off limits.
Yeah. The R word. So Josh went into a diatribe on an earlier intro. Josh went into a very non-PC rant, basically. Not a rant. I won't say a rant, but...
I was not ranting. I was just having fun.
Says everybody that's ever been fired. Which I wanted to bring up. I bring this up at work all the time. And we always joke about how people are doing things. And it's like, we always say something like, yeah, that's dumb. You're going to lose your job. So that has evolved into when somebody does something wrong, I make this comment. I'm like, what do you mean I'm fired? So it's like, this isn't real. But they'll be like, hey, I found this way that we could do this. And it's like, we don't even have a sick day counted against us. And I'll be like, what do you mean I'm fired? But no, that's not real at all. I don't know anybody that knows the way around that. If they did, I probably wouldn't broadcast it. But all right, so we were talking about embarrassing stories a couple weeks ago. And I saw one play out right in front of my face the other day. I had a guy that works with me. He's a good guy. We had this work van that needed to be serviced. It was like something was wrong with the transmission. Something wasn't right. So we take the van to A+ Auto Care. A+ Auto Care keeps it for a couple of days. Go to pick it up. A+ Auto Care gives us this bill. And it says parts, $23.50. Total bill,
$2,300.
No, $23.50. Total bill, $300. all that it basically shows is that they hooked it up to a machine. That's all it says. It doesn't give any details of what they did. It just says diagnostics.
Yeah.
Code 1124, code 2 blah 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 blah, to all these codes and what they mean. $190, $180 something.
That almost buys one of the actual machines that you can buy to tell the code.
Right.
They sell them at AutoZone.
Yeah,
for
they
like
sell
$200
those. They sell those like just Bluetooth scanners too that go straight to your phone.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they're pretty cheap. I've seen them online. It's like $50. You buy it and you plug it into your car, and it will tell you everything on your phone. You download the app.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Yeah, almost $200 to do that. I look at my buddy. I'm like, hey, you need to probably tell our boss because that's a heck of a markup. You probably need to tell him. So he tells him. I tell them that I have a place that I take my car to. We'll just call it Silver Circle Tire. I was like, hey, is there any way we can take it to Silver Circle Tire? And they were like, yeah, we'll get a second opinion. So my buddy goes, all right, so what was the name of that place? I said, Silver Circle Tire. He's like, okay. And he makes this call. Hey, yeah, my name is Steve Smith, and I am calling as part of the A+ manufacturing. I don't want to give real businesses and stuff.
There's a whole lot of A+ going on here.
Yeah, we're really good at our job, Josh.
Yeah.
All right, so hey, my name is Steve Smith. I'm from A+ Construction, and we have a van that we took over to A+ Auto Care to get serviced, and it looks like they charged us about $200 just to hook it up to a machine. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to get a second opinion because we really don't think that they charged us correct. Huh? Yeah? Uh-huh. And at this point, he looks around like he's drowning. Like, uh-oh, something's wrong. And I can see it because my desk is like 13 feet away from his. Right. And he's looking around and he just lets out like, I don't curse a lot on here, but he lets out like a, oh shit. Like, and I'm like, what in the heck's going on? And he's looking left and right. He's scared to death. And he's like, well, I didn't say that, but I'm saying, well, no. Well, I'm not running down your business. And I go, what is going on? And I gather it as I'm sitting there listening to him talk, that in the process of talking to me about getting Silver Circle Car Care's number, he has accidentally in Google typed in A+ Car Care and hit enter and got the number, copies it and pastes it, and he's so focused on what he's going to say that when they answer and they say, hey, this is A+ Auto Care, how may I help you? He doesn't even hear it. So he goes right into his spiel about how A+ Auto Care is screwing us over. And I talked to him later. I was like, what did they say? And he was like, well, they said, well, first off, this is A+ Auto Care, and we don't appreciate you running us down. We do a lot of business for your company, and that is just uncalled for that you're telling other people we're doing this, which invoked him to go, shit, look around like the guy was behind him. Like, well, I know where you are. Well, we told other coworkers this, and we were like, hey, listen to this, because I loved it. I was laughing, joking. I was like, hey, you got to tell this guy. And he's like, I don't want to tell any more people. I was like, no, you got to tell him or I'm going to tell him. So we told one of our coworkers, and he was like, why didn't you just hang up like a prank call? He's like, well, I thought about that, but I gave way too much information of who I was. Like, we had just left the place, too. It was like, and I joked, I was like, hi, my name's Steve Smith. I'm from A+ Construction, and I'm faxing over a picture of myself right now, so there's no confusion of who I am. But no, I thought that was hilarious, and it made me think of something else, and you might be able to jump in on this. A time when you made a mistake like that, where you walk up to somebody and go, hey, Greg, how's it going, man? You slap the guy on the back. I hadn't seen you forever. And the guy turns around, it's not Greg.
I had a buddy, he had just moved to Chester County, and another buddy of ours worked at the same place. Well, you know other people's car, what they drive and whatnot.
Right.
Hey, you drive a silver Malibu or whatever. My buddy David, he knew that Robert lived in Chester County. He had just moved there. He drove to the gas station. I forget which one it was over there, and he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, Robert's here. Awesome." And he said, "I'm gonna play a prank on him. I'm going to get in his car, and he's going to come back and be like, oh, what the hell, He gets in the car, and he kind of sits back in the passenger seat, and he's just waiting, He's looking off to the side, trying to see Robert coming out the door or whatever. Door opens to the side of him. "What the hell are you doing in my car, white boy?" I mean, he said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Blah, blah, blah. This guy, he was threatening to beat him up and everything. And he had to tell him several times, "Look, I'm for real. I was just playing a prank. I thought you were Robert. This car looks exactly like his. I'm sorry." He told him to get the hell out of there and, blah, blah, blah. He got in his car and drove away. Another one.
Later on, that guy was arrested or rest up for the same crime.
I don't know. Another one that you witnessed. I'm not sure if you remember or not. You will when I tell you. See an old guy walking down the street. I run out off of your porch, run off into the yard. "Paul!" I thought it was my grandpa. Totally older, not different guy, and he's just looking at me like, "Do I know you?"
I had that happen today to me. It's always worse when somebody recognizes you and you don't know them. Like when they throw out enough facts about who you are and what your life is focused around to where you're like, all right, they definitely know me and I should know them. But I had that happen to me a couple of days ago at a store. One of the sales associates comes up to me and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And I was like, that sounds a little familiar. Like maybe I should say hey back. It's like, "Oh, pretty good." And they're like, "How's the wife? That kid's getting big." I'm like, crap. They know personal information about me and my family because they threw out names too. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm like struggling to look at the name tag if they have one. I'm like, "Oh, please." But I mean, there's nothing worse than not knowing somebody that knows you. And it's embarrassing to go, "All right, I'm sorry, who are you?" And a lot of times for me, I worked at a school for many years. So like there's kids that have grown up that now they look totally different. But some of them still look the same, but some of them look totally different. And they're like, "Hey, what's going on, Mr. Mulligan? What's going on?" "Hey," and I have to think, did I go to school with you? Did you sell me some insurance? I'm going to feel bad, but I don't know if it's equally embarrassing, if not worse, going up to somebody you think you know, and it turns out to be somebody else.
I think that's way more embarrassing than somebody knowing you and you not knowing them. Because it almost makes them look like, I'm kind of stretching this if they really, really don't know you that well.
Right.
That they're making a thing of it,
Right.
It's a lot worse, when you are sure that you know somebody and it's totally not that person.
I remember when I was a kid, I want to say this is how bad this is that sticks in your memory. I remember I was like maybe 7, 8 years old, and this is when we were still going to J.B. Young, which is a school that has been torn down long ago. But we were going there, and I had this friend there named Jody. And one day, it was like a Saturday, we had went to Kmart. And the Kmart wasn't in our town, but it was in our town, but it wasn't in like our local area. We had to drive like maybe 10 miles to get to it. So I'm walking around and I thought I saw Jody across the aisle, like way across the store. So I start skipping because I'm excited. I'm like, oh, somebody I see outside of school in a non-school thing that I know from school. So I'm skipping up. I'm like, hey, Jody. And I get Jody out of my mouth. And then I get close enough and realize it's not Jody. And I'm like, hey, Jody, you're not Jody. And I keep skipping and I skip away. And I remember feeling so embarrassed. Like, what do you do?
Skippity do. You just keep on skipping.
Keep on skipping. Got to keep on skipping away from Jody.
Skipping away.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that was one of the things. Is like, you know, those things always stick in your memory. It actually happened to me the other day. Like, I can't remember where it was. I want to say I was at like Walmart or something. And I had this guy walk up and slap me on the back and go, hey man, I hadn't seen you forever. And when I turned around, I was like, oh hey. And I had to play like I knew who he was because he knew who I was. But and all of a sudden, all the confidence left his face. Like, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, hey. And I was like, yeah, this guy doesn't know me, and I don't know him. And now it's awkward. I can make this worse and ask for details. Hey, man, how's everybody doing? Family okay?
I used to get that crap a lot when I was younger. Had people come up to me, hey, how's your brother? Huh?
They were asking about me, probably.
No. I mean, no
one cares about you, Richard.
I know someone that looks just like you. I thought you were his brother. No.
I remember when we were younger, you told me one time, you were like, if one more person calls me John.
Oh, yeah. That was
you got
bad.
John a lot, which I didn't understand. John was a common name, but yeah. I mean, you're Josh, which is just as common, if not just slightly less common of a name than John.
It's in the Bible.
Josh or John?
Both.
Josh or Joshua?
I don't think.
Yeah, trying to church it up. I see what you're trying
Get
to do.
it? Church it up?
Yeah! Puns! So now we will take you to a word from our sponsors. How do you feel about that, Josh?
I feel a little over-exhilarated.
Over-exhilarated?
Yeah. I gotta go change my pants.
Well...
You want to lead in again?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to lead out?
Already did. Remember, I had to change my pants.
We'll be right back. Don't fit? I'm going to have to buy new clothes.
Don't drive to the mall. Take a trip down to 51 South Creek Drive in Jackson. See Matt Hoover and the gang at Maximum Health and Fitness. They will not only whip you back into shape, they will keep you in the clothes that you already own.
Well, what are my options? Do I have a way to just kind of dip my toe in?
Mention this podcast and you will receive a free trial membership.
Well, that's it. Enough is enough. I'm heading there right now.
Maximum Health and Fitness, 51 South Creek Drive in Jackson. This is Keeping It Sharp, Sharpening Knives with Freddie.
Today we're gonna be sharpening the buck knife. really get in the creases. Don't mush up the serrated part. And one more swipe.
This has been Keeping It Sharp, Sharpening Knives with Freddie.
You want to do the we're back?
And we're back.
And who are we?
Like they don't know who the f*** we are. We've already introduced ourselves.
You want to do the Nick News W5? Who, what, when, where, and why?
I
Why are
got
we
sad
here?
when that lady got cancer.
What? Who?
The chick from Nick News.
Is she still alive?
I don't know.
Well, now we gotta look. Thanks for that.
She got cancer when we were kids.
Really?
Yes, you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah. What was her name? It was Wendy or Jane, something
Distant
like that.
memory now, apparently.
No, seriously, dude. For a while, I used to wait for Sunday night so
Why
I could
did
watch Nick News.
What?
Sunday. Linda.
You really took it to a dark place.
You said Nick News. That's what I
Oh, I'm
think
sorry.
about.
I brought up a very positive thing, and you just destroyed it with...
Linda Ellerby.
Yeah, you're her cancer. Apparently she's still alive, so she beat it. They played Nick News until 2015?
On what? With the same lady, evidently. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Did you see that?
What?
Before I Go, Living with Dying.
What?
Yeah. Who Took It Dark Now? That's on Nickelodeon,
Children who
brother.
are suffering with terminal illness tell the stories and revealed their appreciation for life.
Can I tell you a little story?
No!
about that? Yes, I'm going to.
No!
I'm going to because I have to.
Okay. Yeah,
you
go ahead.
remember, back in the day, they used to do a whole bunch of infomercials just at random different networks, and one of them was about it wasn't St. Jude, it was something else kind of like that.
Yeah.
It was one of the deals to where it profiled 3 different people. They were like between the ages of 10 and 12, and all 3 of them had some form of cancer at that film time. And it showed, kind of like a MTV True Life type deal where it, went through each of their days, their routine, their kind of like they told their feelings on, having cancer and this, that, and the other, what they hope to get to do and all this. It was real sad for the most part. And I didn't realize, I realized at the time, but I realized how awful it was, and I wonder, is it the show people's fault? Because I found myself at the end of the show, like one of the 3 had passed away.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? And I found myself at the end of the show, like, please, God forgive me, but I said, I wanted that one to live. I was rooting for it like it was sports teams. I know that's god awful. I know it is, man. But that is the truth. And it is the way that show was presented. It was the way they presented it.
I had $20 on that guy to make it. Jesus.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's bad. That's things we should never tell other people.
I bet I wasn't the only one. I'm telling you, man, it was a hell of a high production.
So speaking of running out of time, today we're recording this episode on daylight savings time, or whatever they call it when it ends. Standard time beginning, where you gain an hour. Spring forward, fall back. Well, we're at fall back, and we will be at this time for 4 months. It's where it will be darker in the afternoon. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I know too much information for you there, Josh?
You're speaking as if we got listeners in the southern hemisphere, and
Yeah. For you people in Africa, the continent of New Zealand. That's not a continent. That's a country.
no, you done
The
messed up now.
continent. The continent of Australia. No. For you people out there.
Is it your summer, mate? It's our winter.
It's winter's here at the Bobby. That's a horrible accent.
It's winter for us bloody Yanks.
Jesus' birthday, we have a poo party. That was a horrible accent. The echo.
You sound
There's
more English than anything.
Yeah. But anyways, no, speaking of lost time. And this was daylight
for the
savings.
wrong.
Yeah. This was daylight savings time.
I didn't mean the wrong person. I just meant
That Cuban kid should have really died first. Jesus, Josh. How dare you? But no, we were sitting there looking at the time, and now that everything is smart, like our computers, our phones, everything is smart. We were looking at our phones and going, what time is it? It looks like it's supposed to be 1 o'clock, but time goes back from 2 to 1. Is it 1 o'clock for the first time or the second time? Is it really 2 or is it 1 again? And we were sitting here looking. The computer here says it's 1 o'clock. Our phones say it's 1 o'clock. But we're sitting here going, is it really 1 o'clock? Is it really supposed to be 2? We don't know how long we've been doing this. So Josh has to look at an analog stove clock to find out what time it was, because it isn't smart. Smartphones and technology are screwing us up with daylight savings time.
it's screwing up your perception of time.
It automatically changes it for you, which is awesome. When I was a kid, I would have loved that, because we went to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock. So it would have changed it for me as I slept. But
Thank God we didn't have smartphones and stuff back then.
the chafing, I mean, alone. What do you, I'll be out in a minute.
I don't think kids, man. They're not, like, for the most part.
They had a Nick News called Coming Out. Animal rights are wrongs.
Ooh.
All right, we got to stop looking at the Nick News stuff. So, anyways, go ahead. Kids dying. You were saying
Nothing.
Come on.
I can't come back from that.
Oh, Jesus.
That's wrong. I'm just joking.
Well, at least you got to be a firefighter for a day beforehand. Jesus. That's horrible. That's horrible, Josh. You brought this to attention. This is your fault. All right.
We're gonna get fired.
Oh, no. Yeah, totally. What do you mean I'm fired? If we're going to walk into work Monday, what do you mean I'm fired? Well, you know that thing you do as a hobby that doesn't make any money for your family? Well, it really screwed you over big time here.
I thought there was only like 3 people listening.
Well, one of them was your boss.
You know anywhere that's hiring right now?
I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, dude. All right, so I don't claim to be a very masculine man or a macho man or a macho man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Be a macho man. Be a macho man, yeah. You know, be a macho man. You can't cry at all.
Top of the mountain, yeah.
That was always something I always hated about his interviews, because you had to turn the volume up on your TV really loud. It was like,
I blame myself and I don't know what to do. But I'll tell you something. And I blame myself and I don't know what to do. It's like I whisper. Yeah. And I can whisper. I like to whisper. I whisper it out, man. And then I say it out loud. And I blame myself.
Coming up, back to the top, yeah.
Michael, medium rare. nice steak, and yeah, I might do this.
Heinz 57, yeah.
Yeah. Extra for a baked potato. Yeah.
But no, so anyways, I don't consider myself a macho man at all, or a macho king, or anything like that.
The macho bow.
Yeah, you're gonna kiss my feet. Yeah, you're gonna, kneel at my throne. Yeah.
Yeah, sensational Queen Sherry. Yeah, she's back there. Back on the keys. Yeah, Zeus. Do you know where she's gonna be, Zeus?
Cup of coffee. Yeah.
But no, is there anything out there other than kid stuff that will hit you and you'll just be like tearing up and you'll like have to look away? Or is it just pretty much kid stuff for you?
Well, to me, I'm more partial to animals. I know, you know what I mean? Like, it hurts me worse to see somebody, mistreating a dog, keeping it out on a chain, like, where you can see it's not being fed, right. Or on a hot day, you got the same water sitting out there from 3 days ago, stuff like that. I mean, would your ass want to drink 3-day-old hot water? No. You know what I mean? That
right.
And even a 3 or 4 year old kid knows that it can go to the refrigerator and get something. It can do something to help itself. But I mean, if you got a dog out on a chain outside,
you basically got it imprisoned.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That really, really gets to me. I mean, I'm not saying, don't have a dog on a chain, but
right.
What else is with that? Can it get somewhere where it's not burning up? Can it get somewhere where it can eat and have a nice drink? Stuff like that. That really gets in my crawl.
So, switching gears a little bit here. Have you ever heard of anti-jokes?
Yeah, you tell them all the time.
Well, thanks for adding.
I was expecting a snappy retort, not a stonewall.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, that's me every time I'm on this podcast with you. I was expecting something. Not just, yep. I got a great show for you people. No, an anti-joke. An anti-joke is a joke that is like, okay, so here's an example of an anti-joke. How do you confuse a blonde?
Do you want me to really tell you?
No,
or?
you just say, I don't know.
I don't know, Richard.
You paint yourself green and throw sporks at her. That's an anti-joke. How do you make a plumber cry? Just say, I don't know.
I don't know, Richard.
Kill his family. That's an anti-joke. How do you get a clown off a swing?
I don't know, Richard.
Hit him with an axe.
There you go.
Those are anti-jokes. They're jokes that really don't have a punchline, but
kind of just statements.
Right, and they're very funny. It's something that I've looked up before, and it's one of those things that's like if you spend a little time looking at it, it'll trip you out. Like you'll laugh the whole time. I don't know if you've ever seen any. You've never heard of this?
Was it like a thing?
Yeah, they're called anti-jokes. Like this one. An Irishman walks out of a bar. If you just type in anti-jokes on Google, you'll see a bunch of them. All right, so read some of these, Josh. Read some. Please help us communicate.
Do you want me to read that first one?
You can. It's not a...
Yeah, anybody can,
Yeah.
but will you? I think not. Why did the boy drop his ice cream? Because
Why?
he was hit by a bus.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
2.
To whom?
No, you're supposed to say to who. You
To
read
whom?
the punchline.
Hey, I did an anti-joke, right?
Oh, Jesus.
A dyslexic man walks into a bra. I like that one.
What's green and has wheels?
But it should have been a rab, not a bar.
What?
Or a bra.
Yeah. What's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. What's the biggest lie in the entire universe? I have read and agreed to the terms of service. So that's pretty much anti-jokes. I'm sorry I brought the show down. I thought they were funny. What did the lawyer say to the other lawyer? We are both lawyers. What would George Washington do if he was here today? Scream and scratch the top of his coffin. What's brown and sticky? A stick. All right, so here's a question for you. And I thought about this the other day. How much money, and this, I know I'm asking this to a guy that got $20 at Christmas from a guy that definitely stole that money. How much money could you find that you would feel comfortable keeping?
Well, I mean, nothing more than it just really. It's all where's the money at?
How is it presented?
Yeah, I mean, if it's all wadded up like someone just lost it, that's one thing. But if it's in a freaking briefcase, and
Well, I mean, yeah, but
freaking blue paint splattered all over it, I mean,
right? No, well, nobody's gonna keep that. But like, all right, so you're walking home and it's been raining and water has running through the alley.
yeah,
And you get out of your car, and in the street, you find a wadded up knot, like it fell out of somebody's pocket, of like $700.
ooh, eureka!
What do you do with it? Do you?
I take it home, put it in the microwave, and I take it to the bank.
So what happens if you take it to the bank and then you hear a, "Hello, sir. I was outside your house the other day, and we were looking around at some foliage."
Oh, that's
next
what
door."
the hell were you doing outside my house, creep?
All right, so, hey, we were jogging through here the other day, and we were on our way to buy a lawnmower. We don't have a car. We're pretty poor.
Continue.
Yeah. We think that we may have dropped some money out here. Have you seen anything?
Well, if you're poor and you drop $700, you're already lying to me.
Well, they were going to get a lawnmower because they don't have a lawnmower. And they've saved up, and they're buying this lawnmower.
Uh-huh.
What do you do you really look at somebody when they go, "Hey, I dropped $700 somewhere"?
I mean, honestly, if I knew that they weren't BSing me, I would totally go get their money.
But how would they know that? How would they know you found $700?
Well, that's the thing. If I know that nobody's looking when I pick the money up,
Right.
and they just so happen to know the amount and all that, yeah, I'll give it back.
What if they said, "I lost about $700 here"?
I mean, as long as it's in the ballpark, I know they're not BSing. You can see it in somebody's eyes if they're BSing or not.
Could they say something like, "Hey, I lost some money here the other day"?
It would just depend on, where. It all depends on your eyes, man.
What's the amount that you would be like, "All right, so I don't care, I'm keeping it, whatever, finders keepers"?
Well, like
It would
I
have to be a
said,
low number, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, if it's over $100, I'm pretty nervous about where it came from,
Right.
no matter how I find it. But I mean, if it's under $100, and I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be found, or you know what I mean, I'll keep it.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I know that kind of goes to that joke that I always used to do. It was like somebody used to come up to you and be like, "Hey, I just found some money in the street. Guess how much?" And I always used to throw a number out there way higher than what they would. $100. That was a $5 bill, but all right. I mean, I guess that was me. $20 was probably my cutoff. Anything higher than a 20, somebody's looking for it. 20 is pushing it. Somebody can lose a 1 or a 5, and you're like, "Oh, okay, they lost it."
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's find it in your pocket money. The 20's pushing it. $100 is questionable.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the Goodwill. You buy, I know you don't buy furniture from the Goodwill, but
No.
say you do. You get home and you lift that one cushion back or whatever, and that cushion's a little heavy. Unzip it. I don't know, $10,000. You going to keep it?
Yeah, that's yours.
You don't think Granny whoever
Nope.
mistakenly forgot it or something? You know what I mean?
Nope, that's yours. You bought it. You bought the contents of that couch and whatever's in it.
Well,
All right, so here's
there's
the
been
thing.
things in the news, in the past year of, like a family, gave a dresser, I think it was
Right.
a dresser, to the Goodwill or whatever. And the people that buy the dresser, they find out, like, I forget, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of silver coins and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And they felt compelled to figure out, where did this come from? They found the person, and they said, yeah, that was my grandmother's. I didn't know she had that in there.
Nope.
And they got it back.
Yep. If they didn't know, then they never knew, and then, sorry. Here's my thing. It's buyer beware. All right, I'll flip that question around on you. All right, say you go to Goodwill, and I know you don't buy furniture from there, but you buy a mattress. And inside that mattress, after a few nights of sleep, of uncomfortable sleep, you open that mattress up, and you find bed bugs. Do you find the guy that owned that mattress and sue him?
Well, no, I mean,
No. So you're not going to try to give them back the money that they left in there. If they're leaving bed bugs, if you're leaving negative stuff in the bed, you're probably not going to go back and try to sue them for leaving negative stuff because you bought it.
I'm not getting your
So
analogy.
vice versa, if they're giving something away to be sold, they're giving it away. Hey, you sell it. They don't want it anymore. They've given it away. They haven't just mistakenly, if they've mistakenly left something there and they haven't searched it thoroughly before they give it away, they've given it away. That's just my opinion. But something floating in the street, something out at a store, if you just saw something laying in the parking lot, yeah, that's different. But
See, we're direct opposite. I feel totally uncomfortable keeping the 30 grand in the mattress, because
why?
somebody...
You bought it. You bought the
Exactly,
contents
but
of that.
somebody...
All right, so here's the thing. All right, let me ask you this. You buy a new house. Okay? It's not new. It's new to you. You buy a house. Owner left for Kansas, whatever. All right? So one day you decide, hey, I'm going to go in the attic. And you open up the attic and you walk up there and you see all these old wrestling figures and baseball cards. Okay?
I get it,
Yeah.
but...
Do you call the old owner and go, hey, did you leave these? If she says no, do you keep searching and say, who did you buy the house from? Do you search for them or do you just keep them?
I mean, I get it, but
No.
buying a house and
Buying a couch that might have money in it?
getting rid of some kind of crap that, and you never know. Your stupid nephew could have gave it away.
Yeah.
And
Some
you
stupid
didn't-
nephew could have put the baseball cards and the wrestling figures in the attic.
No, you're splitting hairs.
No,
now.
that's not splitting hairs. If you buy something,
I
there's-
understand the rules.
If
I'm
you-
just telling you morality.
All right, so I go to these little discount stores all the time. There's this one place out north called, I always call it Dirty Cheap, Dirt Cheap. And there was one day, it was today actually. My wife goes, hey, where did these come from? And they were in one of the packages that I bought. And they were little knobs, like cabinet knobs. Turns out they fit perfectly on a cabinet that we had. And they matched everything. And she was like, did you steal these? I was like, no. I haven't even opened these. See, this store gets returns. So, like, they'll go to Target and they'll buy out all their returns. So if Target goes, hey, we got this lamp here. There's nothing wrong with it. But somebody didn't want it, returned it. We don't have the package. And we're selling it back to this company to make some money off of it because we can't get any money out of it. What happens sometimes is when somebody returns it, they leave stuff in the box or whatever they return it in. So it just gets wrapped up and packaged back and sold to the Dirt Cheap or Bargain Hunt type places. Well, let's just say like this. If you buy a couch and you find $100,000 in it, you're saying that you would go and try to find who owned that couch and get the money back, right?
I mean, like I say, it just depends. If I get it from Goodwill, it's kind of like you never know the situation at hand. You don't know why whatever was taken, whatever, you know, and you don't know who took it. Like I said, I mean, there's so many different situationals that could happen. You got some jerk nephew or something that's helping you get rid of some of your dead grandmother's stuff, and then his dumbass mistakenly gives the dresser away, and, you know, he takes it off, goes to Goodwill, and then you come back in there. Wait a minute, where's our old cedar chest or whatever? It had all this crap in it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I took it to the Goodwill.
All right, so
you're saying if they've already sold it, you know.
it's gone. It's gone.
But you don't think that guy, I mean, he had a right to, you know what I mean?
Right. So, okay, so you buy the couch, you're looking it over, and you find the money. You try to return it, right? No, I'm just saying, that's
sure.
where you're coming from, right? You try to return it. All right, so what happens if you buy the couch, set it there, it sits there for 3 years, and you're like, I don't need this couch anymore. I'm going to turn it into Goodwill, but I'm going to look it over and make sure I don't have a remote in it or something, and you find $100,000. What do?
Well, that's 3 years old. I mean,
So now it's 3-year-old money. So who's to say they didn't turn that Goodwill couch in 3 years ago, and you're the first person to buy it? I mean, do you shop at Goodwill every day and like, where the new couches are coming in today?
Not me personally, no.
What's the cutoff for time and money and the amount?
I'm not sure there is one. I think it's all situational.
Now, here's the thing. What if you find something that's totally not good? Like, you buy a couch and find, like, 17 Ziploc bags of cocaine.
I am extremely paranoid, and I flush that shit.
Anybody lose any cocaine?
Yeah, I'm not going back to Goodwill on that. Well, Richard, the sound of that song means it's the end of episode 12. I've had fun, brother, but it's time to go.
Time to go.
If they want to reach us on Facebook, how can they do that?
They're just going to type in Pop Poncho in the search bar.
What about on Twitter?
P3 Radio 1.
Last but not least, YouTube.
All they're going to do is just go to YouTube and type in P3 Radio in the search bar.
They're sure to find us on there.
Somebody is.
Well, for Richard Mulligan, I'm Josh Briley.
And I'm Richard Mulligan.
And I'm Josh Briley.
And I'm Richard Mulligan.
Saying
good night.
P3 Radio.
Think that's good?
Sure.
You want me to wait for your favorite part?
No.
All right.